Hi everyone, it's Rhonda here at the Salem, Ohio Public Library. Now, most of you might know that I do a tech video every week on different tech topics. However, this month I wanted to try something different. I thought that it might be helpful for those who might be transitioning over to today's technology to maybe start from the basics and the bare minimum of some of the different components of a computer. We can talk about the physical parts of it, and then eventually we'll get to the software parts of it. We'll talk about some of the technology jargon that might be confusing you, because I know firsthand that sometimes hearing some of those terms can just sort of make your head spin a little bit. So my job this upcoming month will be to help you further understand some of those terms, some of the parts that you can find on laptops or desktop computers, and to kind of help guide you into this technology-driven world. So if you are unfamiliar with technology, then these videos are really going to be helpful for you. And I hope that if you have any further questions that you reach out to me at the Salem, Ohio Public Library. I am there on Tuesdays and Thursdays. And a lot of what I do is really just help people transition into the newest, more up-to-date versions of today's technology. So to get started, I just wanted to go over some basic parts of a laptop. So as you can see here, I have an HP laptop. This is the one that I use for my job at the library. And I'm just going to go over some of these little things that are over here on the side. And then I also have some over here on the other side as well. And so we're going to go over those today, because a lot of the questions that I get in my Tech 101 consultations are usually based on, what are these? What do they do? How do they function? So there's a lot to learn in technology. And so you really need to start with the bare minimum, the first block to your steps. And then we're going to go ahead and work from there. So to get started, we're going to go ahead over here to the side. So this right here is called an HDMI port. You need an HDMI cable in order to use this. And basically what that does is it takes your device and it projects it to a TV. And so if you are trying to present something, or maybe you're trying to show a slideshow somewhere, you can go ahead and buy an HDMI cable, usually at Walmart or anywhere that sells electronic accessories. And you can plug that into your laptop, and then you plug it into your TV, and it will then project what is on your laptop to the TV. Next, we have, wrong way. Next, we have our USB ports. Now, I have one here, and I also have another one over here. Most laptops and desktop computers even are going to have more than one. So I just wanted to show you that I have one on each side. And if you look really up close, it might be a little blurry here, but there's even just a little bit of a little graphic here or something like that to kind of show you that it is USB. Now, what does a USB do? So a USB does multiple things. So the most important one, or the one that most of us know best, is that it is used to charge things. So if you have a smartphone of any kind, actually an iPhone as well, you have the part that goes into your phone, which is usually a little small, right? And then you have a cable that comes out and it goes into a block that you then would plug into the wall to charge your phone, right? So most phone cords, you can actually remove that cord from the block, and on the end of it, you're going to find a rectangular piece. And that is called a USB cable. Okay, so it's used for a few different things. The most common one is to charge devices. So why would it be on a computer? Well, two reasons. One, if you are ever in need of a quick charge, you can always plug it into your USB port here, and then you can go ahead and charge your phone that way. But the more common reason for a computer is because once you actually plug it in there and then you plug it into your phone, you can then transfer your photos or documents that you've created on your phone to your laptop. Now, this is a very common issue. A lot of people come into the library and they say things like, oh, my phone says the storage is filled and I'm afraid that I'm going to lose all my photos. I don't want to delete my videos. How do I get my storage back on my phone without losing my memories? Well, This is how. So you would then go ahead and connect your phone from the bottom of your phone to the charger piece. You'd put it into the USB port. And then after that, you would be able to file transfer your photos to your laptop, and then you would delete them from your phone. And then that would free up your storage. So moving on, I keep doing that today. Moving forward, we also, in my specific laptop, I have this little charging port right here. This is the same thing for me. This is the same kind of charger that my phone has. And so I can literally just plug my charger right into this as well if you have a two-sided cable. Other than that, I don't use it for anything else. I'm sure there's another use for it out there somewhere, but just like you guys, I still learn about technology too all the time. Moving forward, here I have a little biometric scanning piece. This is for using your fingertips as a way to access your computer. This is a little bit newer, so not all computer models are going to have this, but this does make it so that you don't have to enter a PIN in order to have access to your computer. And then here is just my volume buttons. And then down here is just a little blinking light. This lets me know if my battery is getting low. It'll start to blink orange. That way I know to go ahead and charge it. And to wrap this up, I'm just going to quickly go over the components over here as well. So starting from the bottom, this right here is an SD card slot. Now, to help you understand a little bit about that as well, we talked about pictures being transferred using the USB cable, but you can also take your pictures that are on an SD card and then put them into the SD card slot on your laptop and transfer them to your computer that way as well. We're kind of getting to a point where it's not super common anymore to have a camera that has an SD card slot on it. But for those who do a lot of photography, this might be very helpful for you to know. All right, and then just moving down a little bit, I have an audio jack. This is for an auxiliary cord. This is simply for headphones with a cord. We're now kind of in a day and age where everything is sort of run by Bluetooth. So I will say that I've started to notice that the newer models of laptops are actually not having these little jacks anymore. So I might be running up on one of the last models to really have that. But this is so that if you don't have Bluetooth or if you're unfamiliar with Bluetooth, you could still listen to things through headphones. You just would plug them in right here. This right here is just a fan. So as with all technology, the harder we make it work, the hotter it can get. And so the fan helps keep it cool. And then right here is just my power button. This will also put my computer into sleep mode or rest mode if I just gently click it once. But if I hold it down, it will either power on or power off my laptop. And then of course we have the USB port right here again. This is just my USB port number 2. And then over here is where I charge my laptop. It is my power supply. Okay, so I know that could be a lot to sort of remember, but that's why I think making these videos would be really helpful. Feel free to pause and stop as needed to kind of go over some of that. Maybe compare them to the laptop that you have and see what parts you have and what parts you don't. And if you have any additional questions, my favorite thing in the world is to use Google. So if you are unsure of what something is, feel free to just sort of do a quick search in Google, and there's lots of information out there for you. Or if you learn a little bit better from a one-on-one experience, certainly feel free to come into the library. All right, that concludes my part 1. What my goal will be for next week is I'm going to actually just open the laptop a little bit, and we're going to end up going over some of the different keys on a keyboard. We're going to go over what is happening here, whether it's a lock screen, a desktop. We're going to go a little bit more into detail about some of the beginner stuff for your laptop. All right, everybody. I hope you have a wonderful afternoon, and I'll see you next time.